I cannot believe I forgot this. I thought I had everything and I was wrong. Okay. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. I'm a mom. I have a son and he is almost 1 year old. If you haven't seen it, I did a video where I rated my registry 9 months postpartum. So once I had used everything and I felt really confident in what I loved, I went ahead and went through my entire registry. I rated everything that I got, everything that I used, loved, hated. So if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it up here somewhere. So check that out. This is kind of a part 2, and this is going to be everything that I bought in the first year of having my son. So I thought I had everything. Obviously I was wrong. And I think there's a lot of things that you really don't think about. I didn't want to buy too much ahead of time, but I did also want to be prepared. So this is just a list of everything that I ended up buying in the last year of having my baby. And I will timestamp everything, so if you want to skip around in the categories, again, you can do that. My cats are eating if you hear anybody making noises. So the first category is postpartum. Before I had my son, I'd done a little bit of research, but I hadn't really looked into a ton of postpartum stuff. I really didn't buy anything in advance, and I ended up buying quite a few things while I was in the hospital. So the first thing that I bought was a peri bottle. So the hospital that I gave birth at did give me a peri bottle, but it was just a general bottle with a nozzle. I wanted one that had the bent spout. This is the one that I got, and it just made it so much easier. So one of the things postpartum, after you go to the bathroom, you want to clean your area. So that is why you need a peri bottle, or you may want a peri bottle. And I would always fill mine with warm water and a little bit of Epsom salt. And so it just made it a lot easier. You didn't have to maneuver as much. I try not to get too graphic. So this is the one that I got. It worked really well and I really liked it. So the next thing that I ended up buying, because I did not buy any before I had my son, was nursing bras. I had bought 2 sleeping tops, 2 camis that were kind of nursing tops, but they had like 0 support. So I ended up getting 2 nursing camis and then 2 nursing/pumping bras, and I really liked them. I wore them a ton. They had padding in them, so I didn't have to use the padded inserts. I felt like they stopped any leaking that might have happened, especially early on. I know there's a lot of different nursing bras and pumping bras out there. I don't think that you can go wrong. I would just steer clear of anything light colored. I think black is the way to go. I had a couple that were like white or gray, and you could see the milk stains, and then if you're using nipple cream, the oil in that will stain the clothing. And so I just found that black was a lot easier to clean and deal with. And then I've seen these bras, I did get this set off of Amazon. I've seen them being promoted on TikTok, and I think they're okay if you have small boobs, but I was a CD before I had my son, and then when I had him and my milk came in, I was like a F8. Like, my boobs were insanely huge, but I still had a small frame. And so I did get a large, but I just found that they didn't quite overlap enough, if that makes sense. And so anytime you bend over or move, my boobs just fell out of the bra. Like, it was just, they were very annoying. I did not like them. Now that I'm almost a year postpartum, I'm still breastfeeding my son, and I just wear whatever bra I want. I mean, honestly, the thing that I found the most comfortable is just to wear a sports bra and just pull your boob out from the bottom. So like, if I'm feeding him, I need my cat to come be a baby. So if I'm feeding him, I'll just like lift my shirt up, pop my boob out, feed him, stick it back in. If you're at home anyways, I don't know that you need like a legit nursing bra. Like I said, I just found it really helpful in the beginning when my milk was coming in. I was leaking. It made that a lot easier. Like I mentioned, I did buy a couple of pumping bras. I bought these off of Amazon. They work fine. The biggest issue I guess I had was that I still had a very small band but really big boobs, and they don't make a lot of nursing bras, tops that are for that. Most of the stuff's in like small, medium, large, which is fine. So like large fit my boobs, but they didn't fit the band. So I always had a hard time, like stuff just was too loose around where my band would be, and that was just the biggest issue that I had. Another super fun postpartum item that I bought, which was super useful, it was adult diapers. So when you go to the hospital, so they give you these like mesh almost underwear and these giant pads, which do work. Like there's a lot coming out after birth, and you do want to be wearing some sort of diaper or pad. I just felt like the mesh and the pad combination and having to go to the bathroom, and it was just a lot. They don't stick very well, in my opinion, and I just found it a lot easier to just go ahead and buy the adult diapers. Super not sexy, but very practical. You know, you got to do what you got to do. And that's one thing that I found very useful. Another thing that I didn't think about, and luckily they gave me when I was at the hospital, was nipple cream. So this is the brand that they gave me at the hospital, so it's just the one that I stuck with. I really liked it, but I think having some sort of cream to put on your nipples when you're breastfeeding really helps take away a lot of the sting and pain. And this nipple cream is safe for your baby. You don't have to wipe it off before they feed, and I felt like it helped a lot. But one thing they don't really talk about in breastfeeding, or I haven't heard a lot of people talk about, is that the pain that comes with it. Technically, breastfeeding should not hurt. So when you are actively feeding your child, it shouldn't be a painful latch, but your nipples hurt for like 3 weeks. It's almost like you're like toughening them up. Like I relate it to like you getting a blister and somebody just keeps like coming and rubbing it and poking it. And so it hurts for the first 3 weeks, but then after that, it's pretty painless. Like there can be some discomfort, but I'd say like for the last, 7, 8, 9 months, and we've had no issue. Just a caveat in case you're like aren't really familiar with breastfeeding and like what's gonna happen to your girls. Another thing that I ended up having to buy postpartum, because I don't even know what I had, preeclampsia. I don't even know if I have a picture of it, but my feet were swelling like crazy right after I had my son. And so we got some compression socks, I think just from like Walgreens, but I was really worried about my feet. I got some compression socks. It may be something you want to order and like return if you don't use it closer to, but I will keep them and use them if I need them again. And then the last thing that I ended up ordering for postpartum was witch hazel. So they gave me some at the hospital. It was like a little container of these pads. They were probably like this big, and you stick them in your diaper or pad or whatever next to your scar or, your lady business. And it has some properties in it, some healing properties that I felt like helped. So I think that is something I will be buying again. Like I said, they did give me some at the hospital, but I ran out, so I ended up ordering some. The next category is feeding. So this would be closer to like 6, 7 months old, when your baby is starting to have solid foods and purees and stuff like that. So these are all the things that I ended up buying for him around the time that we started introducing those foods. So the first one I've loved, I just recently bought these, which is these reusable baby food pouches. There's just a lot about what's in baby food, and it doesn't always sound good. So I am of the mind of trying to make as much as I can myself. So I pre-prep and make like huge batches of baby food for him, like different types of purees, and freeze them. And instead of just having, to thaw them and spoon feed them, what I ended up doing was buying these reusable pouches so I can fill them up with the purees that I had, and they work just like the pouches that you would buy at the grocery store. So he loves them. He can suck them down in like 2 minutes. It's really funny, and they're reusable, which is great. Another thing that we got is this little baby chair. So it kind of looks like one of those chairs that you take to like a soccer game. It's a little chair, it has a tray and like buckles, so you can buckle him in, sit him down, he can have his snacks. And it also has an attachment, so if you wanted to put it in a bigger chair, like an adult chair, you can attach it and secure it so he can sit at the table with everybody. It's worked out really well, and we've used it a couple times when we travel. We're gonna take it to the beach with us. It's just nice to have something that we don't have to bring his entire high chair with us when we're traveling. My mom bought one, so I'll insert the one she got. I like more, but this one was fine too. The next thing that I bought, sippy cups. We obviously have bottles, but we didn't have anything with the like sippy cup nipple. So we ended up getting a couple of sippy cups for him that have like the little handles, so he's able to like drink water for himself. He really likes it. He loves water. Just another thing you may want to put on your registry if that's something that you think you're going to use, which you probably are. Your kid's probably going to need a sippy cup at some point, but I hadn't thought about it, so I ended up having to buy it later. Like I mentioned in my previous video, I did buy a boppy. So I originally got the Dr. Brown's nursing pillow. Someone gave me that, which I love. I think that one's way better, but I ended up ordering a boppy because I wanted another pillow. I was constantly carrying it from his nursery to the living room where I was feeding him a lot, and so it was just a lot easier to have one in both places. I still use it almost every day. It's just not quite as big as the Dr. Brown's nursing pillow, but I'm glad I had two. So if you're registering for one, you may want to think about having more than one. So I did order a pump through my insurance before I had my son. If you didn't know, you can save a lot of money and you can actually get a pump through your insurance and they pay for most of it. So I'll link how you do that below. But I didn't think about storing the milk, so I ended up buying the plastic milk storage bags, which are great. They hold up to 6 ounces and they freeze flat. You don't need anything special to freeze them flat. I just cleared out a little space in my freezer and I would just freeze it and then put it into a gallon bag. You don't have to buy any special contraption in order for it to be flat when it is frozen. I know I've seen a lot out there. And then the other thing I got was these glass milk storage containers. So when I started going back to work and I was pumping, and even just pumping at home, it was nice to put all my milk into one container until it was at 5 or 6 ounces and then put it in a milk storage bag. If I was using my Haka, I would pour the milk into that until I got up to 6 ounces, and then I would transfer it into one of the plastic storage bags and freeze it. So that's kind of how I built up my stash. Sleeping. Obviously, you don't know what kind of sleep you get, but mine loves a sound machine. We have the Hatch Reset, which I like it. It's fine. It doesn't travel well. I know everyone says that you can reset it, but mine doesn't want to do that. So I ended up getting this portable sound machine, which I really love. I'm really glad I got it because when he was really little and we would drive in the car, you can just clip it to their car seat or their stroller. It's portable. It's pretty loud, so you can have a good background, white noise going on. It holds a charge for a really long time. We take it when we travel. It's in his diaper bag, so we just have it all the time, but we use it a lot. So I'm glad we got a portable version that we can take with us wherever we're going. Another thing with sleeping is I knew that we were gonna swaddle him, assuming that he liked it, and he loved to be swaddled. So we swaddled him, and I guess I just didn't realize the short life of a traditional swaddle. So I think he lasted 3 weeks, maybe a month in a traditional swaddle until he started to get a little too big and a little too wiggly to stay in it. So we ended up getting the Halo newborn sleep sack, and we really loved it. It's like a little vest that you put on, zips up, and then it also has the Velcro to go around their arms. So we used that for a long time. I felt like the quality was really good with the Halo, and we ended up getting 2. So that's kind of my advice when it comes to sleeping stuff with a baby. So if they're gonna wear it, get 2, because they're a baby. So there's accidents happen. Even if it's not till the morning, the sleep sack doesn't always make it through the wash cycle, so having an extra one was always good for us. And then the second sleep sack we got was the Array sleep sack in 6 to 12 months. So it's a bigger sleep sack. It actually has the ability to remove the Velcro part. So once he outgrew having his arms restrained and we did arms out, we were able to take that part off, and he's still in it now. He's almost a year old, and the bottom also has snaps, and it also makes it easy for diaper changes because you don't have to unzip the whole thing. You can just snap open the bottom and pull it up. Lastly, for sleeping, we forgot, or I didn't really think about, was we did register for our pack and play, but we didn't get pack and play sheets. So I had to buy sheets for our pack and play, which was fun. I bought a couple on Amazon. This is the pack that I got. I think it's really cute, but I couldn't really find sheets that fit perfectly. They kind of billow a little, but I felt like overall they worked. They work fine. We use them. Can't complain. Next category is diapering. I feel like we did a pretty good job of getting everything that we needed for diapering. The only things that we have continued to buy or needed to buy are the diaper pail trash bag refills. We got a traditional diaper pail. It has specific trash bags that you have to get. So I just subscribed. I get them on Amazon every couple months. They last for a long time. So that's one thing that we've continued to buy. And then the other thing is obviously diapers. We are a Pampers Swaddlers household. We have been using them since the beginning. I feel like they do a really good job. They have a very high back. We haven't had too many accidents in them. I mean, obviously accidents happen, but we have really enjoyed using them. I feel like they're a good quality diaper, and so we will continue to use them as he grows. And then the only thing I didn't think about, we bought him a pack of swim diapers. So when we go to my parents' house, they have a pool, or we go outside and we play in the sprinkler. You know, he doesn't have a big soggy butt for his diaper. And then the one thing I didn't know, and you may not know either, is if you are going swimming, put the swim diaper on at the last minute. So if you're like going to drive somewhere, don't put the swim diaper on because it's not going to hold pee in. So if you're driving or traveling and you have them in their swimsuit, just be aware that the swim diaper is really only catching poop. So just I hadn't thought about it until someone mentioned it, and I was like, that's a good point. I'll make sure to not put his swim diaper on until we're about to get in the pool. This is the baby gear category, all the fun stuff. I like this category a lot. You probably saw I did like a short for it, but my giant playpen, I am absolutely obsessed with it. It is 71 inches by 59 inches, and it can fit both me. I am 5'8", and my husband is 6'4". We can both fit in it with our son and play with him, and so it has been perfect. We really like to sit in it in the evenings, like when we're watching TV, and he loves playing in it, and he can't get into any trouble because he's contained. So it's one of the best purchases that we've made, in my opinion. And it came with a mat, but it wasn't very thick, so I ordered this other mat. It was a lot thicker, and it's also a lot cuter. So it made aesthetically overall looks much better, but I think if you just want a mat in general, this is a great mat. One thing that I bought that I hadn't thought about but has actually become super handy, I bought this set of stroller hooks. So I put them on both of our strollers. They just Velcro onto the handle, and it's been so convenient. I will put like my purse when we're going somewhere. You can also hook on, a lot of times I'll hook a basket, like a grocery basket on it. I've gotten a lot of use out of it. I kind of bought them thinking I'm not sure if I'm gonna really use these, but I actually use them all the time, or like we'll put his diaper bag on it because it's just so much more convenient to have something accessible than to be always putting something under the stroller. So I really liked those. If you haven't watched my previous video, we are a Chico family. We have the Chico car seat, we have a Chico jogger stroller, and so when I got another stroller, a bassinet stroller, I still wanted to be able to use it for his car seat. So I ended up buying this adapter. It goes with the frame of the Mom Push stroller, and it works perfectly. So his car seat snaps in. It's much smaller frame. It's much easier to travel with, and I get more use out of it since he's too big and obviously not in a bassinet anymore. But if we go somewhere and I just want to keep him in his stroller, it's a great option for that. When I did my registry, I did register for a baby wrap carrier, but I never registered for a more heavy duty carrier. So once I had my son, I was like, I guess I need to get a better carrier, especially because I loved the wrap, but it's only good to me when they're like newborn, infant, much smaller. I think it says you can use it up to 30 pounds, but like my son would not let me put him in a wrap right now. He was like, no, what are you doing? So I ended up getting the Ergo Baby Omni baby harness. And I really love it. It's been so much more practical than the wrap because you can just slide him in. You don't have to do all the maneuvers to wrap it. And then now that he's a little bigger and he can face forward, there's obviously a lot of good ones, but I felt like this was a good affordable option, and it can fit me and my husband. Another thing that I hadn't thought about registering for, I don't know where my brain was when I was making my registry, but pacifier clips. After he was born, obviously babies spit their pacifier out every 10 seconds. So I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get some clips. So I ordered these. We still use them all the time. He's not like obsessed with his pacifier, but if we were traveling or like I'll drop him off somewhere, you know, you just want to make sure he doesn't lose it. So I love these pacifier clips. It's really good if you clip it somewhere on their collar so they can't pull it off. Like you just want a little extra fabric so they can't pull it off, because my son can do that. Another hack for these is when he's in his stroller, he started probably a couple months ago throwing his teethers out of his stroller. So I ended up using one of the pacifier clips. I clipped it to his stroller strap, and then I attached his toy to it so he can't throw it out. It's just a attached. So they're good for pacifiers or any toys that you want to clip to your baby or their car seat or whatever, and you don't want them to go anywhere. I also ordered a few teethers. I mean, obviously my son will chew on anything, but these are a couple that we like. He's been using them from like 3 months to now, and he still chews on them and loves them. So I think any good teether, especially like something that's got a lot of silicone padding in it, is really good for them to chew on. And then lastly in this category is pacifiers. So we got a lot of pacifiers for free when he was a baby, and they were all newborn, so they were for 0 to 6 months. And they really recommend that you upgrade, which I wasn't even aware of before he was born, that you needed to upgrade because their mouths get bigger and the smaller pacifiers can become a choking hazard. So we went ahead and got the MAM 6 to 18 month pacifiers, which we loved. I'm not sure if we should have bought this many, but they go missing like crazy. So we have 6 pacifiers and I'm constantly losing them and finding them. So this category is health and safety. The first thing that we bought, we haven't used it yet, but I went ahead and got it because obviously it's summertime. We know a lot of people with boats. We're around water. I went ahead and got him a life jacket. Good to be prepared. Now that he's crawling and mobile, we ordered a lot of safety stuff. So we got outlet covers, toilet locks, cabinet locks, furniture anchors. We have pretty much baby-proofed everything. We haven't installed all of the stuff, but I have it. It makes me feel better when everything is secure, that he's not going to pull something over on himself. He's not going to get into a cabinet he's not supposed to. It's stuff I had thought about registering for, but I wasn't as concerned with because I knew it would be several months before he was mobile. So you have time if you don't want to put it on your registry. And then we also got him the ear protection. So it's just like a little ear muff. He hates them, but we have them in case. I think the ones that have the like wrap around them would probably be better because I think he wouldn't be able to get them off as easily. But you know, these are the ones that we ordered, and when he gets a little older, I think we can explain to him that he has to keep them on his ears. But we haven't gone anywhere for him to actually need to use them yet, so it hasn't been as big of a deal. Short little categories. Bathing. We really didn't need to buy much. We really didn't need to buy much. We got most everything we needed off our registry, but we did get just some drain stoppers. I feel like they worked better. We're in an older home and they just work better than the drain stopper that's as part of the tub. Clothing. So this is all the clothing that I got postpartum. So I didn't register for any baby clothes. I got a ton of baby clothes at my showers, but most of them were for 0 to 3 size. And also I was convinced that I was going to have a giant baby. They kept telling me he was going to be a giant baby. And he was a good sized baby. He came out 8 pounds, 10 ounces. So like, yay me, I pushed that out, but he was still in newborn clothes. So I did have to buy newborn onesies when he was born. And then I also had to buy, obviously, clothes as he grew. So he was only in newborn clothes for 3 weeks. He was in 0 to 3 clothes for 6 weeks. And then he was in 6 to 9 for several weeks. He still probably can fit into some of his 6 to 9 clothes. We've moved mostly into 9 to 12 month clothes. They grow so fast, so don't get too many newborn and 0 to 3 clothes. That's just my opinion. That's how fast my baby grew. And then the other thing that I bought was holiday clothes. So we really didn't buy anything in advance because, like I said, I didn't register for anything. And also I was just so unsure what size he would be when the holidays rolled around. So by the time like Christmas, we got Christmas clothes, we got Valentine's Day outfits, we got Easter outfits, summer clothes. We just waited. And plus it was more fun because all of the cute stuff's coming out. So it feels like you're getting to shop for your son or your baby instead of just like, I already have everything. And then you see all this cute stuff when you're like, oh, I don't need to buy anything because I have everything. So that's just how I operate. And then the other stuff that we bought clothing wise was his swim stuff. We got him 2 swimsuits. We got him a swim zip swimsuit, which I really like. It's got long sleeves and it zips all the way up, so it's easy on and off. And then we got one from Target, which is long sleeve, but it's short bottoms. And so we really love them. They've been really good quality. And we got a swim hat, which I really like. It's a little baseball cap and it has the back so it covers his neck. So he's completely covered. We try to keep him as much out of the sun as possible. We really don't want him to get obviously sunburned. And we do put sunscreen on him, but you know, it's just easier if he's not even in the sun. So we try to stay in the shade as much as possible and just cover him up as best we can. Next category is toys and play gear. We didn't register for really many toys. I wasn't sure what he would like, and I knew people would gift us a lot, so I didn't want to register for anything. And so one of the things that we ended up getting, which was an absolute hit, he still loves them today, were these dangling black and white toys. So when he was really little, the black and white was great because he could see them really well, and they make a little jingle noise. So we dangle them from his playpen, or we had one of those swings, so we dangle it from that, and he loved the tags. So they just overall been a really great hit. We got a pack of 4. We just put them different places throughout the house. And then I also hung them. I bought this wooden play gym, which I love so much. There are so many ugly play gyms in my opinion, and I know they work fine, whatever, but they're ugly and I don't like them. So I finally found this cute wood playpen from Tinyland. It looks like a little rainbow, and it's got wood slats all the way over, so it's like a big rainbow arch, and it's got little wood slats. So we would hook the little toys to that, and other toys we could hook on it. I also used to tape, we had those black and white cards, so I would tape those on the top for him to look at. So overall, that was like a super huge hit. We used that for months. He loved like getting under it and playing with the toys that were attached to it. Probably one of the best things that I've bought postpartum was this bouncer. So we do have a traditional door bouncer, but I think it's just so taut. He really can't bounce very much. It takes a lot of weight to get it to bounce. And so what I ended up buying is this standalone bouncer, and he loves it. We'll put him in it and he will just go crazy and just bounce and bounce and bounce till he's like so pooped. And it's also really good because it's a nice option to like put him in a contained area if we need to do something. So he's content to bounce. He's not gonna go anywhere, and we really like it. And then the last toy thing I bought was that singing crab. I was suckered in by TikTok, and it was fine. I think he liked it a little bit, but the crab doesn't stay. It just kind of meanders and will go in a corner, and you have to keep putting it in front of it. I think the best hack I saw was somebody put it in a hula hoop so it couldn't run away, but it saved your money. Honestly, I think just vacuuming in front of him would have been enough. Just have a few more things. This is a miscellaneous category. There's just one thing in it. I bought this little sign language book, so we're trying to teach him sign language. We're doing a terrible job, but I did buy this book, so it's nice to have the reference, and then sometimes we'll read it and we'll go through all the signs, and I don't have to look it up on my phone. We're trying, but we're failing. The last two things I forgot to include. Technically, I didn't register for them or buy them. I was gifted them, but I wanted to include them because I use them all the time. And the first one is a wipe dispenser. So it is this little box. You put the wipes in it. There's like a weighted plate that goes on top, and the lid is like push controlled. So you like press it and it opens. I'm really glad that we got this because when you are changing a baby, a lot of times it's one-handed. So you're like holding them, you're doing something, your hand's like on them, and you need a wipe. And so just being able to press it and grab a wipe versus like opening a wipe pack, pulling it out. Anyways, it's just, to me, been a lot easier to do it that way. So I love it. I would buy another one if we needed to. One of my favorite gifts that we've gotten. And then lastly, we got one of those circle mats. We did a lot of tummy time on it. They're just like a soft little mat that you can move anywhere, just small. We still use it. It's just in his nursery, but it's just another cute little gift that we got. And we had his little play gym set up over it, so it just created a nice little space for him to have all his stuff and his toys and not just be on the carpet or wood floor. That is everything that I bought postpartum. I don't think I forgot anything. Obviously there's a lot. You don't probably need anything that I talked about, but I just wanted to share everything that I ended up buying because I think I was ready for a baby. I had everything on my registry, but there's just so many factors and so many things that you don't consider. That's what this list kind of is, just everything that you might want to add on your registry or everything you may want to consider thinking about purchasing as your baby grows. That is my full list. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and let me know if you have any questions. If there's anything I should consider buying, like I said, my son turns 1 in a few weeks, so we are getting him a few presents and sort of toys for like developmental milestones within his next coming up year. Hopefully I hear from you. Bye.